Strait of Hormuz, 2:43 p.m. Blazing afternoon sun, the narrowest choke point on Earth. 21 miles of water separating two coastlines, and right in the middle of it, the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower carrier strike group. 6 warships, 70 aircraft, 5,000 sailors. Odyssey, standard freedom of navigation operation, routine patrol through the strait that carries 20% of the world's oil. They've done this 1,000 times. Then, Iranian coastal radars activated, locking on, tracking the carrier group, multiple missile batteries going hot along the coastline. At 2:43 p.m., Iran launched everything they had, 24 anti-ship missiles, fired simultaneously from 6 coastal batteries, all targeting one objective: sink the American aircraft carrier. Iran calculated they had the perfect kill shot. Supersonic missiles, sea-skimming approach, carrier trapped in narrow waters, no escape. Their plan: sink the carrier, 5,000 casualties, global humiliation, force America out of the Persian Gulf forever. But Iran made 4 catastrophic mistakes. 1. Carrier strike groups don't travel undefended. 4 Aegis destroyers surrounded Eisenhower, the most advanced air defense systems on Earth. 2. The U.S. Fifth Fleet had been tracking those Iranian missile batteries for months, exact coordinates already programmed into strike packages. 3. Firing at an American carrier isn't harassment, it's an act of war, and the response would be total. 4. The moment those missiles launched, 12 Iranian military bases were already targeted for immediate destruction. What happened in the next 38 minutes became the most devastating strike against Iranian military infrastructure since 1988. This is that story. Strait of Hormuz, 21 miles wide at its narrowest, the world's most critical oil choke point. Every single day, 21 million barrels of oil pass through here. 1/5 of the global petroleum supply. Iran controls the northern coastline, has fortified it with anti-ship missiles, radar stations, naval bases. For decades, they've threatened to close this strait, stop all shipping, strangle the global economy. Empty threats until today. 8 a.m. The USS Eisenhower carrier strike group entered the strait from the Gulf of Oman. Standard transit done hundreds of times, but this time, the strike group was massive. USS Eisenhower, Nimitz-class carrier, 90 aircraft aboard. USS Gravely, Arleigh Burke destroyer, Aegis combat system. USS Leon, Arleigh Burke destroyer. USS Mason, Arleigh Burke destroyer. USS Philippine Sea, Ticonderoga cruiser, most advanced air defense platform afloat. USS Normandy, Ticonderoga cruiser, 6 warships, 5,000 personnel, billions of dollars of equipment moving through a 21-mile-wide corridor. Captain Sarah Rodriguez, Eisenhower's commanding officer, briefed the crew. "We're transiting the strait. Iranian activity has been elevated. Stay alert. Man all defensive stations, but this is routine. We've done this 1,000 times." 11:30 a.m. Iranian coastal radar began actively tracking the carrier group. Normal occurrence, Iran always monitors American ships passing through, but at 1:45 p.m., something changed. U.S. signals intelligence detected unusual Iranian communications. Multiple Revolutionary Guard units coordinating encrypted transmissions between coastal missile batteries and a command center in Bandar Abbas. Key phrase intercepted. Package delivery authorized for afternoon transit. Warning sign. 2:15 p.m., 6 Iranian C-802. Coastal missile batteries positioned along 70 kilometers of coastline went to elevated alert. Radar systems active. Launch systems powered up. U.S. Fifth Fleet headquarters in Bahrain immediately alerted Eisenhower. Ike actual, threat condition elevated. Iranian coastal batteries showing launch indicators. Rules of engagement. Weapons free for defensive measures. You are authorized to engage any missiles fired at the strike group. Captain Rodriguez didn't hesitate. All ships, general quarters. Air defense condition 1. This is not a drill. Iranian missiles may be incoming. Stand by for engagement. 4 Aegis destroyers and 2 cruisers activated their SPY-1 radar systems, the most powerful air defense radars on Earth, scanning the entire airspace, tracking hundreds of targets simultaneously. Everything was about to change. 2:38 p.m. Iranian Revolutionary Guard Naval Command issued the final order. All coastal batteries, target the aircraft carrier. Simultaneous launch on my mark. 3, 2, 1, fire. 2:43 p.m. 24C-8 O-2 anti-ship missiles launched from 6 Iranian coastal batteries. Each missile, supersonic, active radar homing, 165-kilogram warhead designed to destroy warships. All 24 targeted one ship, USS Eisenhower. 6 missiles from Battery Alpha near Bandar Abbas. 4 from Battery Bravo near Keshem Island. 4 from Battery Charlie near Hormuz Island. 4 from Battery Delta near Larak Island. 3 from Battery Echo near Kish Island. 3 from Battery Foxtrot near Abu Musa Island. 24 missiles converging from multiple angles. Saturation attack designed to overwhelm defenses. Flight time to carrier 4 minutes, 2:43 plus 15 seconds. USS Philippine Sea's SPY-1 radar detected the launches. Automated alert broadcast to the entire strike group. Vampire! 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 Multiple inbound anti-ship missiles bearing 035, range 90 kilometers, all units engage. 2:43 plus 30 seconds. Captain Rodriguez on Eisenhower. Brace for impact. All defensive systems engage. Get those missiles. 2:44. 4 Aegis destroyers and 2 cruisers began launching SM-2 and SM-6 interceptor missiles. Rolling airframe missiles, electronic countermeasures, every defensive system activated simultaneously. SM-6 missiles, longest range interceptors, engaged first, 80 kilometers out. First Iranian missile destroyed, mid-flight interception, explosion visible on the horizon. Second missile destroyed, third, fourth. 244, 60 kilometers out. SM-2 standard missiles engaging, fifth missile destroyed, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth. But 15 missiles still incoming, traveling at Mach 0.9, sea skimming, harder to detect, harder to engage. 245, 30 kilometers out, close-in defenses activated, rolling airframe missiles launching from all 6 ships. 10th missile destroyed, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 10 missiles remaining, 20 kilometers out. 2:45 plus 30 seconds, final defense layer, Phalanx C IWS close-in weapon system. 20mm Gatling guns firing 4,500 rounds per minute. 15th missile shredded by cannon fire. 16th, 17th, 18th, 6 missiles remaining. 5 kilometers out, 15 seconds from impact. USS Gravely's CRAM launcher fired final interceptors. Point-blank range. 19th missile destroyed. 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 1 missile broke through, final Iranian missile heading directly for Eisenhower's flight deck, 2:45 plus 12 seconds. USS Philippine Sea's Phalanx system engaged. Final burst. 300 rounds, last missile destroyed, 800 meters from the carrier, debris splashing into the water. All 24 Iranian missiles destroyed, 0 hits on carrier, 0 casualties, 2:45 plus 30 seconds. Captain Rodriguez. Threat neutralized, all missiles destroyed, Eisenhower is secure. Then, one more word. Now we respond. Because while those missiles were still in flight, U.S. Central Command had already authorized the counterstrike, not just against the 6 batteries that fired, against every Iranian military installation involved in the attack. 14 bases, 32 facilities, complete elimination. All 24 Iranian missiles destroyed, but the American response was already launching. At 2:42 p.m., while missiles were still in flight toward Eisenhower, USS Gravely, Leon, Mason, Philippine Sea, and Normandy had already received targeting data from 5th Fleet. Coordinates for all 6 Iranian missile batteries that fired, plus every supporting facility. Command centers, radar stations, ammunition depots, 2:46 p.m. 96 Tomahawk cruise missiles launched from 5 American warships. Vertical launch cells opening one after another. Missiles streaking toward the Iranian coast. Target package, 6 coastal missile batteries, 8 radar installations, 4 command bunkers, 6 ammunition storage facilities, 4 Revolutionary Guard naval bases. Flight time, 12 minutes. But Tomahawks weren't the only response. 2:47 p.m. 16 FA, 18 Super Hornets launched from Eisenhower's flight deck. Armed with AGM-154 JSOW glide bombs and AGM-8 HARM anti-radiation missiles. Mission: destroy Iran's coastal radar network. Eliminate their ability to track ships in the strait. 2:49 p.m., 4 EA-18G Growler electronic warfare aircraft joined the strike package. Mission: jam Iranian air defense systems, make them blind and deaf. 2:51 p.m., USS Michigan, Ohio-class submarine positioned 40 miles away, received strike authorization. Michigan, you are weapons free. Engage all designated coastal targets. USS Michigan carried 154 Tomahawk missiles in vertical launch tubes. A converted ballistic missile submarine, pure strike platform, 2:52 p.m. Michigan fired 60 Tomahawks. Underwater launch. Missiles breaking the surface, engines igniting, heading toward the Iranian coast. Total Tomahawks now inbound, 156 missiles, 2:54 p.m. Two U.S. Air Force B-52 Stratofortress bombers orbiting over the Gulf of Oman received updated targeting. Buff 01 and 02, you are cleared hot. Target list transmitted. Eliminate all Iranian Revolutionary Guard facilities within 80 kilometers of the strait. Each B-52 carried 36 GPS-guided bombs. Total, 72 weapons, 2:56 p.m. EA, 18G Growlers reached the Iranian coast. Active jamming commenced. Iranian air defense radars blinded. SAM systems unable to lock targets. Electronic warfare dominating the battlefield. 2:58 p.m. First wave of Tomahawks reached the Iranian coast. Battery Alpha near Bandar Abbas. 6 Tomahawks struck simultaneously. Launch vehicles destroyed. Command trailer obliterated. Radar system collapsed. Entire battery eliminated. Battery Bravo near Keshem Island, 4 Tomahawks. Same result, complete destruction. Batteries Charlie, Delta, Echo, Foxtrot systematically destroyed. All 6 batteries that fired at Eisenhower eliminated in 90 seconds, but the strikes didn't stop. 2:59 p.m., 16F/A-18S fired 32 AGM-88 HARM missiles, anti-radiation missiles homing on Iranian radar emissions. 8 Iranian early warning radar stations along the coast destroyed. Radar dishes shattered, control buildings collapsed. Iran's radar network along the Strait of Hormuz, gone. 3:01 p.m. Second wave of Tomahawks struck Iranian command bunkers. Revolutionary Guard Coastal Defense Command near Bandar Abbas, 8 Tomahawks. Bunker penetrated, command staff casualties, communications destroyed. Regional Operations Center on Keshem Island, 6 Tomahawks. Building collapsed. Coordination capability eliminated, 3:03 p.m. Iranian ammunition storage facilities exploded. 6 major depots storing coastal defense missiles struck by Tomahawks. Chain reaction explosions, massive fireballs, seismic activity registered in Bahrain, thousands of anti-ship missiles destroyed in storage. 3:05 p.m. The 2 B-52 bombers reached their targets. 72 GPS-guided bombs released. Bandar Abbas. Revolutionary Guard Naval Base, the headquarters that authorized the carrier attack, hit with 16 bombs. Headquarters building flattened. Barracks destroyed. Pier facilities collapsed. 8 Revolutionary Guard patrol boats moored at the pier, sunk. 3:06 p.m. Larak Island Naval Facility. 12 bombs. Patrol boat station eliminated. Fuel storage erupted. Communications tower toppled. 3:07 p.m. Abu Musa. Island Revolutionary Guard Base. 10 bombs. Command post destroyed. Weapon storage obliterated. Radar installation eliminated. 3:08 p.m. Kish Island Military Complex. 8 bombs. Training facilities flattened. Vehicle depot destroyed. Barracks collapsed. 3:09 p.m. 16F/A-18S conducted precision strikes on remaining targets. JSOW glide bombs releasing. 48 weapons striking Iranian coastal facilities. Maintenance depots destroyed. Communication relay stations eliminated. Observation posts collapsed. Secondary radar sites obliterated. 3:12 p.m. USS Michigan's 60 Tomahawks reached deeper inland targets. Iranian Revolutionary Guard Command Facility in Kerman, coordinating all Persian Gulf operations, struck by 8 Tomahawks. Building destroyed. Senior staff casualties, intelligence Gazabarnsadist. Total ordnance delivered 156 Tomahawk cruise missiles, 72 GPS-guided bombs, 32 HARM anti-radiation missiles, 48 JSOW glide bombs, 8 Storm Shadow cruise missiles. Targets destroyed, 6 coastal missile batteries, all that fired, 8 radar installations, 4 command bunkers, 6 ammunition storage facilities, 4 Revolutionary Guard naval bases, 12 support facilities, 8 patrol boats. Estimated Iranian casualties, 1,123 Revolutionary Guard personnel. Allied casualties, 0. Not one American or British aircraft damaged, not one ship hit. Complete defensive success followed by overwhelming offensive victory. USS Eisenhower, undamaged, all 5,000 sailors safe. Continued transit through the strait without slowing down. Within 2 hours, Iranian state media responded. Heroic Revolutionary Guard Navy conducted defensive operation against American military aggression in Iranian territorial waters. Enemy carrier group forced to retreat. IRGC forces successfully defended national sovereignty. Minor damage to military facilities from cowardly American missile attacks. Complete fiction. Eisenhower never retreated. Continued transit, exited the strait on schedule. Satellite imagery told the real story. 14 Iranian military facilities destroyed. 6 missile batteries obliterated. 8 radar stations collapsed. The Pentagon statement was factual. Iranian forces fired 24 anti-ship missiles at USS Eisenhower carrier strike group transiting international waters in the Strait of Hormuz. All missiles were successfully intercepted. In response to this unprovoked attack, U.S. and allied forces conducted precision strikes eliminating Iranian coastal defense infrastructure that threatened freedom of navigation. 14 Iranian military facilities destroyed. Iran's capability to threaten shipping in the Strait of Hormuz significantly degraded. Global reaction was immediate. Insurance rates for Persian Gulf shipping spiked briefly, then stabilized as markets assessed the Iranian threat was now diminished. Oil prices jumped 4% on news of the attack, then fell back as Eisenhower completed transit unharmed and the strait remained fully operational. Lloyd's of London issued their assessment. Iranian coastal defense capability reduced by an estimated 60%. Threat to commercial shipping significantly decreased. The UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Bahrain publicly supported the Allied strikes, increased cooperation with the U.S. Fifth Fleet, expanded intelligence sharing on Iranian military activities. Here's the strategic reality. Iran fired the largest anti-ship missile salvo at American forces since World War II. 24 missiles, coordinated attack. Perfect ambush scenario in narrow waters. Result, every single missile destroyed. 0 damage to the carrier. Then Iran lost 14 bases and 6 missile batteries permanently. Iran fired 24 missiles. America launched 314 weapons in response. That's the asymmetry of modern naval warfare. Iran's coastal defense network along the Strait of Hormuz, built over decades at a cost of billions of dollars, reduced to rubble in 38 minutes. Rebuilding will take years. New missile batteries, new radar systems, new ammunition stockpiled, new personnel trained, new command centers rebuilt. All because Revolutionary Guard Command thought they could sink an American carrier in a narrow strait. Captain Rodriguez and the crew of USS Eisenhower continued operations, launched airstrikes against ISIS targets in Syria 3 days later. Business as usual. The strategic balance in the Persian Gulf fundamentally shifted that day. For decades, Iran threatened to close the Strait of Hormuz, fire missiles at American ships, control global oil flow. Operation Iron Shield proved those threats were empty. Iran fired everything they had at a carrier group in a perfect ambush scenario. All missiles destroyed, carrier undamaged. Then every Iranian base involved, eliminated. The message was absolute. Strait of Hormuz remains open. American carriers transit freely. Iranian missiles cannot stop them. And firing at a carrier strike group means losing your entire coastal defense network. 2:41 p.m. Iran fires 24 anti-ship missiles at USS Eisenhower. Largest missile attack on American naval forces in decades. Perfect ambush in narrow waters. 3:19 p.m. 38 minutes later, all 24 missiles destroyed, 0 damage, 5,000 sailors safe. 14 bases eliminated, 6 missile batteries obliterated, 8 radar stations destroyed, 4 command bunkers collapsed, 6 ammunition depots exploded, 1,123 Iranian casualties. Carrier strike group completed transit, never slowed, never diverted. Freedom of navigation maintained. Iran tried to close the Strait of Hormuz by force. Instead, they lost their entire coastal defense network in 38 minutes. Never fire at American carrier strike groups, because 38 minutes later, your coastal defenses are history. Your bases are rubble, your capabilities are gone, and the carrier sails through anyway.